GCSE Art and Design, for those of you who are creative, hardworking, and want to be challenged in the classroom as well as at home, this could be the course for you. It consists of two major projects known as components, which will help you to build your portfolio. Each component has 4 equally marked assessment objectives. Both projects will follow the same format, which include Assessment Objective 1. Here you will investigate a range of artists' work as well as historical and contemporary current affairs. You will reflect on the work of others and develop your own work based on your findings. In Assessment Objective 2, here you will experiment and explore your ideas using appropriate media, materials and techniques. You will create and recreate and create again and again until you refine your work, ensuring you showcase the formal elements of art within your work. In Assessment Objective 3, this is where you will record your ideas in both a written and visual way, showing insights relevant to the intentions of your work as it progresses. You will also create your own arrangements and, where appropriate, develop your ideas digitally. And finally, each assessment will have an Assessment Objective 4, where you will present a personal and meaningful response in relation to everything you have covered in Assessment Objectives 1 to 3. You will need to thoroughly demonstrate your understanding of visual language and confidently show the progressive steps you took through the project to create your own final piece.
Hello Year 9, Miss Mills here, Head of Design Technology at City Academy. I'm just going to talk you through some of the courses that our faculty will be offering next year for you to choose from. First one I'd like to talk about is GCSE Three-Dimensional Design. It is part of the same suite as Art and Design Fine Art that Creative Arts will be offering, so you need to bear that in mind because you won't be able to pick both of them. But the three-dimensional design is more focused for those students who really wish to work in what we call resistant materials. So that might be wood, metal, plastic, resin, plaster, who really want to develop their design and making skills with those materials. Responding to creative briefs, coming up with products that might be functional but equally might not be, and they might be decorative. The qualification is a full level 2 GCSE that you will be awarded at the end. You will produce a portfolio and sit a 10-hour exam across 2 days in your final assessment. So why might you pick this course? It's exciting, it's hands-on, there's lots of problem solving, there's lots of opportunities to work in different media, experience different techniques that you haven't had a chance to at Key Stage 3, and it really is a good grounding for any student interested in studying further art, design, sculpture, fashion, technology. It'll make you a good problem solver, develop your investigation skills, your presentation skills, and really give you a lifelong love and appreciation of everything to do with art and design. The next qualification I'd like to talk about is a sister qualification, if you like, to the three-dimensional design I've just spoken about. It's GCSE Textiles, which is also part of the art and design suite of qualifications. So again, there are issues with you not being able to pick both this and art and design fine art that is offered by the Creative Arts faculty. Unlike the three-dimensional design, this course, Textiles, you work mainly with what we call compliant materials that are more flexible, so fabrics, fibres, felts, and you work and manipulate and construct with those materials. So you might do a variety of techniques over the years: knitting, hand sewing, machine sewing, block printing, batiking, weaving, a massive range of skills and techniques to learn. Again, you will respond to a stimuli, a brief, and you will create your own responses to that, but in the textiles medium. Again, it might be a functional item that you create, or it might stand as an artistic statement or a decorative piece. The qualification you get at the end is a full level 2 GCSE. You again are assessed like the three-dimensional design through the production of a portfolio and sitting of a 10-hour exam across 2 days. So why might you pick this course? Again, it's exciting, it's hands-on, there's lots of opportunities for a variety of techniques and activities, not just all the same kind of work. There will be drawing, design, and it's a real foundation again for anyone interested in taking a creative subject or design subject further at college, whether that's fashion, textiles, interiors, technology, any of those, this will be a good grounding for. Again, it will give you an understanding and an appreciation for the wider world of art and design that you'll carry throughout your whole life.
BTEC Tech Award Performing Arts. This 2-year course comprises of 3 components. Component 1, Exploring the Performing Arts. Here you will explore the skills needed to succeed in performing arts as a student and beyond. You'll find yourself researching the work of practitioners within performing arts. You will compare a series of contrasting plays and demonstrate how you have developed your work based on the skills explored. You will evidence these components using written and visual outcomes. Component 2, Developing your skills and techniques. Here you will go through the live process of becoming an actor, working both on and off screen, rehearsing a chosen script, performing to an audience, and creating an ongoing written logbook. Component 3, responding to a brief. We call this the devising piece. Here you will not only step into character, but you will really embody and explore the character to ensure that your presence is visual on stage. If performing in front of a camera and live audience suits your creativity, then this could be the course for you. GCSE Music, the perfect course for those of you that want to explore the field of music. This course is made up of 3 assessment objectives. The first is the integrated portfolio, where you build a composition using your chosen instrument based around a brief set by your teacher. Assessment objective 2. This is your practical component, where you build a performance based on a brief given to you by the exam board. You will be expected to build your work from scratch, ensuring it is layered and complex using a range of musical elements. Following this, your component 3 is a written exam paper where you will listen to a range of music and break down precisely what you hear and know through your knowledge of sound.
Next qualification I'd like to talk about is the Level 2 award in hospitality and catering. This is a course that focuses on equipping you with a very broad and practical knowledge of the wide variety of sectors that make up the hospitality and catering industry. And that's a massively diverse sector that ranges from Michelin-starred restaurants to B&Bs, to caravan parks, to the popcorn seller at the cinema. It's a massive sector, and this course looks at all elements of that industry. Front of house, kitchen prep, housekeeping, ordering, health and safety, legislation, the whole range. It is not just a food preparation course. I need to stress that it is not just preparing and cooking food. The qualification you'll be awarded at the end is the Level 2 award in hospitality and catering. Now, just to make you aware, a Level 2 award is equivalent to a GCSE, so it still carries that same value, but it is what we call a vocational qualification. The qualification is split into 2 units: the hospitality and catering industry, and that's an exam that you sit externally marked, and then the hospitality and catering in action unit, which is a range of tasks that are carried out in school and that are assessed internally. So why might you pick this course? Because you have a love of vocational study. You want to do a variety of activities: practical and written work, investigation and analysis. And because you have an interest perhaps in pursuing this area of study or work post 16, when you leave year 11. Despite the recent pandemic, the hospitality industry is a massive, massive sector in the world and in Britain, and it does account for a large amount of our workforce, about 10% of the total workforce. And lots of those jobs in that area fall between the kind of 18 and 24 age group. So having skills in this sector is still really useful.
In GCSE Business, there is 3 main contents of the course that students will cover. These are enterprise and marketing concepts, design a business proposal, market and pitch a business proposal. Students will then complete 2 exams at the end of year 11. Both have equal weighting, 50% each. Depending on the exam board that we go with, this may include coursework. Through the study of business, students will open several different doors to different opportunities for themselves. They can find positions within the advertising field, marketing, publications, and many more. The key thing for students studying business is that they'll have the ability to kickstart their own business at a young age and grow this into a successful enterprise. Another benefit of studying business, it has good links with ICT. Students will learn about spreadsheets, about Microsoft Office, about Microsoft Access, about databases, and this will give students a wide variety of different qualifications, and it will give them the ability to link business with ICT, and this is a very useful tool for them to have in the future. In GCSE Computer Science, there are 3 fundamental parts to the course. Those are computational thinking and logic, programming, and computer systems. Students are assessed via 2 exam papers, one on computational thinking and programming and the other on computer systems, and these are equally weighted at 50% each. Now, the content of the course, computational thinking and logic, programming and computer systems, can be branched out into system security, data representation, logic gates, networking, hardware and software, RAM and ROM. So there are numerous things that students will cover through the 2 years of study. Now, as our understanding of computing changes so often, we're constantly developing new ideas and trying to be innovative in the world that we live in today and the society that we live in today. Students will benefit enormously by choosing this subject and having a good foundational base for moving on to college and university and choosing computer science at A level or choosing computer science at university, because this will allow them to have many career opportunities later on in life, working for companies such as Microsoft, Google, Capgemini as a software developer or in cybersecurity. It gives students the ability to know that there is job certainty out there for them. And with society changing and computers changing every day, people need to have general knowledge of computers, and this course gives students a specific knowledge of computer science and computing in general, which is something they will be able to use throughout their entire life.
Hello City Academy students, I'm going to talk to you about your GCSE English pathways. In GCSE English you study for two distinct and entirely separate GCSEs, GCSE English Literature and GCSE English Language. Here I'm going to talk about GCSE English Language. So in this language course you study using a range of extracts, analysing the writer's craft and how they express images, ideas and opinions, and how they are able to persuade, inspire and influence their readers, as well as being coached how to inspire, influence and persuade in your own writing too. The study of English language is very much about the effects of certain words and phrases and images and how we as readers are being influenced by the structure of text that writers give to us. You'll be assessed in this course by completing two exams at the end. One, Explorations in Creative Reading and Writing, in which you're given a fiction text, unseen, that you have to analyse yourself. And then the second paper is Writers' Viewpoints and Perspectives, in which you're given two non-fiction extracts, so diary entries, letters, newspaper articles, those kinds of texts, and asked how the writer is expressing their viewpoint in them. Your study of English language is integral to your success in most other courses, and that's a good reason why you should pick this course. It opens the doorways to pretty much any career or any pathway that you'd want to choose after studying these GCSEs. Most notably, careers in journalism, law, research, education, and jobs in the press and media look very, very favourably on qualifications in English, but it is considered the foundation of pretty much any further study you want to undertake. So it's crucially important to be successful in. Thank you very much. Hello City Academy students, I'm going to talk to you over your GCSE English pathways. So in your study of GCSE English, you are studying actually for two distinct and entirely separate GCSEs. There is GCSE English Literature and GCSE English Language. I am going to talk about GCSE English Literature here. In your study for GCSE English Literature, the topics you'll cover is a Shakespearean text, looking alongside that at the views and values of people in Elizabethan and Jacobean England. This is where we get modern story structures from. A lot of the texts that we look at now are based on the work of William Shakespeare back then, so it's important to know the roots of that. We look at a 19th century text, looking at the Victorian society and the consequences of the Industrial Revolution. Again, a lot of the things that we believe and a lot of the work that we do is rooted in that Victorian society. And then we look at the birth of modern society and the welfare state, looking at those 20th century texts. How did those attitudes change during the wars and after the wars, and how is that reflected in the texts that we read? Alongside that will also be an anthology of poems in which you look at those changing attitudes towards societies over that whole time scale as well. You're assessed on this using two exam papers. So there'll be Shakespeare and the 19th century novel, and the modern text and the poetry in another exam. So it's 100% exam based, the qualification. The reasons to pick this course is that English literature is integral to your success in most other courses and careers that you'd want to choose later. It's one of the most highly respected qualifications, and it's looked for as a basic minimum to get into colleges, sixth forms, and then universities later on. But should you have a degree in English, they're very, very favourable. They're looked on very well for careers in journalism, law, research, education, and any jobs in the press and media, among others. Again, it's quite a good qualification that opens doorways into most other careers. It's very highly respected and very highly valued. Thank you very much.
Hello Year 9, this is Miss Martin here, Head of MFL at City Academy, and I'm going to be talking to you about why you might want to choose GCSE French. So in terms of what the course covers and the course content, you will cover a range of topics in French that includes family and friends, technology and everyday life, free time, travel and tourism, social and global issues, education and jobs, amongst other topics as well. You'll be able to articulate your thoughts and feelings about those topics in French. And at the end of the course you will receive a GCSE in French. It is a tiered subject. That means you can either be entered for foundation tier or you can be entered for higher tier, and you'll be assessed on each of the following skills, which will have a 25% weighting. That's listening, speaking, reading and writing. So why might you want to pick this course? Well, with a qualification in French, you could go on to become a number of professions, such as an academic researcher, an interpreter, a political risk analyst, a secondary school teacher, a translator, and many other occupations. If you do speak a language, it is proven that you will have an improved memory, you'll be better at problem solving and critical thinking, you'll have better concentration, you're more able to multitask, and your listening skills will also improve. They are an essential tool to compete in a global job market, so if you'd like to work somewhere else in the world, but also at a company in this country that speaks with other companies, then you will be able to succeed in the workplace with a language. Employers, so companies out there, are more and more aware of the benefits that language skills bring that I referred to earlier, and so you will become much more employable. If you have any other questions about the course, please feel free to ask me, Miss Martin, or any of the other teachers within my department. Thank you so much for listening.
GCSE Geography is a robust academic subject rich in skills, knowledge and understanding. Geography helps you to make sense of the world around you, and it's hands-on, relevant and it's fun as well. Geography is a fairly unique subject because it looks at both the physical structure of the planet and the social structure, so how we affect our environment and how it affects us in the past, in the present and in the future as well. So we look at two branches of geography, and these are split into two different papers. So paper 1 is looking at the physical environment, physical geography. It's about looking at rivers, you look at coastal areas, we also look at ecosystems such as tropical rainforests and cold environments. We also look at the global circulation system and how it influences our weather systems, and how it also affects climate change. Paper 2 is all about the human environment, how us humans have changed the environment. So we look at cities, urban areas and how they are changing, how they are dynamic places. We also look at developing countries and developed countries and why there is such a big gap between both. Lastly, paper 3 then is about geographical applications, how students are then they are pushed to think academically, they are pushed to think geographically as well, to make sense of various geographical situations and scenarios, to reach conclusions and increase understanding. All these reasons are why you should be picking this course. Students develop their ability to analyze and interpret different kinds of data and present them in a range of ways that allow it to be understood by others. We don't just look at academic data. So for example, we don't just look at different cities, we don't just look at different populations, we look at statistics, we look at the numbers and we try and analyze those numbers and find meaning through all of that data. It's a useful skill for later in life, all sorts of careers. If you want to go into account, if you want to go into business, if you want to go into a social work, if you want to go in any type of career, this links into that. Geography is a tough, rigorous course, but it encourages students to think deeply about some quite complex topics, relevant topics as well. Right now, climate change is a very, very relevant topic, and it's happening in the world around us, and students can take on that knowledge. They already have some understanding, and they can use that knowledge and apply it into their learning as well. We also do field work, so students take a very hands-on approach. We take them to fieldwork, we make them collect samples in rivers, we make them look at urban processes and understand the meaning behind these processes. So it's a very hands-on approach, and it's also a very relevant subject at the same time. Through exploring and analysing significant world issues, students will eventually develop an appreciation of the difficulties that some of the world's poorest communities face, or some of the marginals in the cities, in our communities also face.
Welcome to GCSE History Year 9. Throughout your 2 years of GCSE, you'll be studying 4 separate courses. Britain, Migrations, Empire and the People, where we look at sort of a history of Britain from about 1000 to modern day and how it expanded, the might of the British Empire, post-World War II, advent of multiculturalism, all those things. We then move on to the Russian Tsardom and communism, looking at the establishment of the Soviet Union led by Stalin from 1895 to 1945. We then carry on into the Cold War, looking at the conflicts and the tensions between the East and West, post-World War II. This should provide you with a sort of more holistic understanding of the making of the modern world. And then we finish with a in-depth analysis of the restoration of England, looking at King Charles, the start of the British Empire, the restoration of the monarchy and the church. And so there's 4 distinct topics there. You will receive a qualification if you pass this course in GCSE History. The 4 topics are divided across 2 exams. So 2 topics per exam, so you only sit 2 exams in GCSE History. Each exam is an hour and 20 minutes. And to say why you should pick this course, we know history is better than geography anyway, but in case you have any doubts about that, history is continuously changing the world around us, and historic events have helped to shape our modern society. So studying GCSE history will help you to answer some very important questions pertaining to sort of the modern day, specifically things like why do wars happen? Why do we have a welfare system? And how have we come to live in a multicultural society? People who are very interested in taking history, you can pursue it at A-level university. Important professions that history is definitely a benefit for, things like, again, professorships, teachers, law. History essentially teaches you how to formulate excellent arguments. So if you're interested in pursuing anything in the legal sector, history will definitely be of help to you. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope to see you next year in GCSE History.
In GCSE ICT, students will study 3 main components: ICT in the digital world, data manipulation and spreadsheets, using augmented reality to present information. Students will be assessed in 2 different ways. The first will be exam-based and the second will be coursework-based. Students will have a key foundational knowledge built through choosing this GCSE. When they move on to college and university, they can pick BTEC and A-level in business and ICT, and as they go into university, they can pick computing and ICT, or they can pick ICT and business. ICT is a very well-rounded subject because it's not wholly computer-centric. It allows students to look into different aspects of business and computing. Students can then go on to several different career options of their choice, such as business enterprise, advertising, marketing, digital design, website development. The opportunities are numerous. And with the link between ICT and business, this is where students are able to do advertising and marketing, but it requires the ICT skill as well as that business skill. So therefore, it is a really important qualification, and students who do choose it at this position at foundational level of GCSE, they can then grow into it in college and university, and it's a really good base to start off with.
Hi there, my name is Mr. Singh and I'm the Director of Learning for Mathematics here at Core City Academy. I'm going to talk to you today about the Edexcel GCSE Mathematics course, which we deliver here at Key Stage 4. The course code is 1MA1. There are 5 areas to the GCSE Mathematics course: number, algebra, ratio, proportion, rate of change, geometry and measures, statistics and probability. Number and algebra account for 55% of the final mark. Assessment takes place at the end of year 11 with 100% examination. There are 3 papers: paper 1, non-calculator, paper 2 and paper 3, where calculator is allowed. Each paper has a time limit of 1 hour 30 minutes, and each paper has a weight of 1/3 of the final mark. Alongside the 5 areas of mathematics that your child needs to learn, there are 3 different skill sets. These skill sets are labelled by AO1, AO2 and AO3. AO1, use and apply of standard techniques, accounts for 50% of their skill set at foundation and 40% at higher. This is where your child will be required to accurately recall facts, terminology and definitions, and use and interpret notation correctly. They will further be asked to carry out routines, procedures, or tasks where multi-steps were required for the solution. For AO2, reason, interpret, and communicate mathematically. This accounts for 25% of the foundation and 30% of the higher. Here, your child will be required to make deductions and draw conclusions from mathematical information presented, interpret, communicate information accurately to present arguments and proofs. AO3, solve problems within mathematics and in other contexts. This accounts for 25% in foundation and 30% in higher. Your child will be required to translate problems in mathematical or non-mathematical contexts, make evaluations from methods and results, and evaluate assumptions. A good grade in GCSE mathematics opens various doors to further education and employment. A minimum requirement of a grade 4 is required. This is equivalent to the old-fashioned grade C. It is called a standard pass. A grade 5, which is a strong pass, and equivalent to a C plus bottom end of a grade B, will give your child a better opportunity to access higher level courses. However, if your child wishes to go on to study A level at sixth form or in the grammar school, they require any grade B above 6. To be quite honest, they'll need a grade 7 if they want to actually attend a grammar or independent school. A good mathematics grade at A level and GCSE will open doors to the Russell Group, which is a group of universities, which there are 24. These include Birmingham, Bristol, Cambridge, Oxford and Warwick, where they can study high-level courses. Mathematics courses also give them the ability for a range of different careers in engineering, dentistry, medicine, and even becoming a vet. All require mathematics. Mathematics is an everyday skill. In order for your child to become good at maths, they have to do maths. Practice makes perfect. I hope I've actually answered some of your questions today, or the majority of your questions. If you've got any other further questions that you'd like to ask me, please don't hesitate to contact the school and they can pass on the message to me. Thank you for your time, and we'll speak and see you soon.
Hello and welcome to Religious Education, which is one of the subjects within the Humanities faculty. I am Mrs. Mawara, Head of Humanities and also one of the RE teachers, and I'm just going to explain a little bit about how the GCSE course works at City Academy. So AQA GCSE RE is broken down into two parts. The first is the study of two major world religions, and we study Christianity and Sikhism. Students will gain knowledge and understanding of the core beliefs of these two faiths and how they are practiced. Within that unit, we look at topics such as what is God like, how was the world created, festivals, worship and life after death. The second part of the GCSE is the themes section, in which students will explore a range of religious attitudes towards different ethical issues that are listed below. The themes that we do are relationships, religion and life, peace and conflict, and crime and punishment. And within those, we debate things such as abortion, euthanasia, animal testing, the death penalty, and we look at various relational issues such as marriage, divorce, contraception. And in the peace and conflict unit, we look at the use of violence and whether it can ever be justified. The qualification is 100% exam based, and it will take the form of 2 written exams, paper 1, which is about beliefs and practices, and paper 2, which is about the themes section. Students may pick this course if they enjoy engaging in discussion and debate around ethical issues, and knowledge of other cultures and world religions can also be useful in many careers where you are working with the public. I hope this has been informative, and thank you for listening.
Hello Year 9, it's Miss Martin here, Head of MFL at City Academy, and I'm going to talk about why you might want to choose GCSE Spanish as part of your options process. If you do choose this subject, we'll be covering a range of topics in Spanish that include family and friends, technology, free time, travel and tourism, social and global issues, and education and jobs. At the end of the course, you will receive a GCSE in Spanish. It is a tiered subject, which means you will either be entered for foundation or higher, and each of the following skills will be assessed as part of that with a 25% weighting each. That is listening, reading, speaking and writing. In terms of why you might pick Spanish GCSE, well, with a qualification in Spanish, you could go on to become any of the following. So academic researchers, interpreters, a political risk analyst, a secondary school teacher, a translator, and many more. If you speak another language, you are proven to have an improved memory, you're better at problem solving and critical thinking, your concentration is enhanced, you're more able to multitask, and you have better listening skills than those that are not able to speak another language. They're also seen as an essential tool in the global job market, so if you would like to work abroad or work for a company in this country that works with companies who operate abroad, then employers are increasingly aware of the benefits that language skills bring to those companies, and therefore you will be more employable. If you have any other questions about the course, about GCSE Spanish, then please feel free to ask me, so that's Miss Martin, or anyone else in the MFL department. Thank you for listening.
The course, Cambridge Nationals in Sport Studies, is predominantly coursework based. It is made up of 75% coursework and 25% exam. There are 4 units of study over the course. Sports leadership, which involves planning and delivering a coaching session. Sport and the media, which looks at a range of media influences on sport, both positive and negative. Practical developing sport skills, where you look at a team sport, an individual sport, and officiating in a sport. And a 1-hour exam, which is contemporary issues in sport. The grading for this course ranges from level 1 pass to level 2 distinction star. The course Cambridge Nationals and Health and Social Care is predominantly coursework based. It is made up of 75% coursework and 25% exam. The course is made up of 4 units, which include understanding body systems, learning about how the body works, first aid, looking at how to administer first aid and essential first aids, communication in health and social care and the importance of communicating in healthcare settings, and a 1-hour exam, which is essential values of care. The grading for this course ranges from level 1 pass to level 2 distinction star.
Hello from the Science Department here at City Academy. My name is Mr. Payne and I'm one of the teachers within the department, and I would like to thank you for your interest in the science courses that we offer. Here at City Academy, we offer a mandatory science course through the AQA exam board. This course is known as GCSE Combined Science Trilogy and has the course code 8464. This course earns students 2 GCSEs in science. The course is made of 3 broad subject areas: biology, chemistry, and physics, and each is assessed separately at the end of the course, that is, at the end of Year 11, with 2 exams. Each exam is 75 minutes long and worth 70 marks. This means that, in the end, students sitting the combined science course will sit 6 exams, 2 biology, 2 chemistry, and 2 physics. Each exam is equally weighted and contributes a 6th to the student's final grade. Each course covers 3 assessment objectives mandated by Ofqual and are the same across all GCSE science specifications and all exam boards. The exams will measure how students have achieved the following assessment objectives. Assessment Objective 1 is to demonstrate knowledge and understanding of scientific ideas, scientific techniques, and procedures. Assessment Objective 2 is to apply knowledge and understanding of scientific ideas, scientific techniques, and procedures. Assessment Objective 3 is to analyze information and ideas to interpret and evaluate, make judgments and draw conclusions, and develop and improve experimental procedures. Regarding specific content areas covered in each course, the biology content students will cover includes cell biology, organization of organisms, infection and response, bioenergetics, which covers photosynthesis and respiration, homeostasis and response, inheritance, variation and evolution, and ecology. Chemistry covers the topics of atomic structure and the periodic table, bonding, structure and properties of matter, quantitative chemistry, chemical changes, energy changes, the rate and extent of chemical change, organic chemistry, chemical analysis, chemistry of the atmosphere, and human use of resources. Physics covers the topics of energy, electricity, particle model of matter, atomic structure, forces, waves, magnetism and electromagnetism. The GCSEs in Combined Science are an excellent pathway that can progress to traditional A levels in all science subjects or to Level 3 BTEC science courses. Higher education in science can lead to careers in medicine, nursing, dentistry, pharmacy, engineering, veterinary science, or technology. Further education in science can also lead to a variety of careers including childcare, hairdressing, or work in the sports sector. I hope this has answered any questions that you may have in regards to the GCSE Combined Science course. If you have any unanswered queries or would like additional information, please do not hesitate to contact the school and we will respond as soon as we can. We look forward to going on a journey of scientific discovery with you.